Hey you all, what's cooking? Good looking. Today in my kitchen chronicles, I am making some yummy, tasty falafel. What I have right now is some overnight chickpeas. What is this? Mint. Some mint, some cilantro, dhania you want to call it, coriander you want to call it. You just call it. And you can add some parsley inside it, but parsley I didn't have it on me, so I'm adding these. What I'm doing right now is I'm running it through the spinner so that I can, drain the excess moisture. Because जब ये mixture mix होगा तो इसमें से थोड़ा पानी निकलेगा and I don't want to have any water inside this. तो क्योंकि प्याज भी डलेगी इसके अंदर and प्याज makes the mixture soft. Okay, so and it has moisture, so obviously we have to drain the excess moisture by doing this little process. If you want to skip it, you can skip it altogether. So this is some basic masala going inside it. Right now, as you can see, it's nicely blended. Wow, look at the mixture. So I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of this. I cracked some freshly ground pepper, about 1 teaspoon approximately, because I wanted a little bit of heat, because that's the authentic recipe which calls for it. Some black pepper, some cumin and coriander, salt, and a little bit of flour. So I'm probably gonna add 1 tablespoon of flour just to give it that bind and to soak the excess moisture. So this is how it is. Here goes the tablespoon of flour, and you're gonna add baking soda right at the end when you're about to fry your falafel mixture, because after this process I'm going to blend it. After this, adding all the spices and ingredients, I'm going to blend it once more, let it sit in the fridge for about an hour or so, and then when I'm ready to fry them, I'm going to add a little bit of baking soda, which is like 1 teaspoon of baking soda in it, because you want to have your falafel a little fluffy. As you can see, the mixture is nicely blended. Now we are going to have this mixture take out in a bowl. I'll let it sit in the fridge for an hour or so, and then when we're ready, we're gonna add some baking soda before frying, and voila! So I've taken it out in a bowl. As you can see, now I'm gonna cover it and let it sit in the fridge for about an hour, and that's how it goes. Hello beautiful, you look gorgeous by the way. So I just added half a teaspoon of baking soda in this mixture. Now this mixture is half kilos of overnight soaked chickpeas, and 1 cup of cilantro, 1 cup of mint, half of a medium-sized onion, 2 teaspoons of cumin and coriander powder, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of baking soda. All blended at once. So the baking soda is added right at the end. I'm just going to put the recipe card on the next slide. So I'm frying some falafel over here, and before frying them, at the end, I added some sesame seeds to it, like a handful of sesame seeds. They were roasted, and you can see the texture on the falafel. And this is the second batch of, or basically third batch of falafel which I'm making right now in the falafel maker, and I'm resting it on the tray so that it sits and rests, and it dries off a little bit. So the fan is on basically. It's drying off, so it has more time to rest. Before adding it to the wok, or before frying rather, I would say, we add in your additional things like baking soda, salt, and I normally add roasted sesame seeds right at the end, because sometimes it's a hit or miss. It gets a little overwhelming. You don't want to basically overwhelm your falafel. I like it like that. I like to have my sesame seeds added right at the end. You can add it in between while you're making the mixture, but at the end, if you add it with the salt and baking soda, it doesn't make any difference. This is one batch I made, and I just took it out, and I was tasting the salt in it. It was a little light, so I added more salt in the next batch, and it turned out really great. You can serve your falafel with hummus, with mutabal, with toom, garlic paste, and you can, make a falafel wrap in pita bread with tortilla, however you want it, or you can just have it as is by just dunking it into as a hot appetizer with your dips, and it's really enjoyed. It's a protein packed snack, lunch, dinner, whatever you might call it, and you can just make it ahead of time. And as you want to serve it, you can just air fry them again or reheat them again. And I made a batch earlier and I took a picture. Here it is.